Hey guys, Mike here with Discount Forklift, and right behind me is this true workhorse that we've named Cindy. This is a Lift Hero, 8,500 pound capacity, lithium ion forklift. They're brand new that we got in. We've been selling them since last year, and I'm happy to introduce one of the other workhorses that are gonna work good for you guys. So as you can see, it's kind of got more of a bigger counterbalance compared to what a typical 8,000 pound would consist of, especially because having to beef this one up in order to accommodate your guys' lift height that you need. You got some pneumatic tires here. Now typically we can't drive tanks in the civilian world, so this is probably about as close as you guys are going to get, but wonderful tires on this lift. You're not going to get stuck in pretty much anything. It's going to work good in snow. It's going to work good in gravel, dirt, but your guys' environment ain't going to entail that, so it's going to work pretty well for what you guys need. Now this particular lift here does have a seat switch that is activated when you actually sit on this lift. So you can't do anything unless you're sat in this lift, and you'll actually feel it jump down. Your mast here, first and foremost, we have our technicians who went through this. Made sure your lift was actually good. Made sure that our standards are applied to this lift that are going to match your guys' standards. It has a 3-stage mast. It has 72-inch forks, as you can see here. And they do have the cylinders here to allow side shift, meaning that both the forks are going to move left or right, or each fork itself is going to position itself obviously wider or more narrow if you need it. Now if we go to the controls over here, these are the controls. So at least the inside ones going to be the raising the mast, lowering it down. The second to the left is going to be a tilt function. Third one in is going to be side shift, and the fourth one is going to be your fork positioner. This stick here, if you rotate it, you can actually see the instructions. It's off, obviously, turn signals if you want to call it that, and then your lights. You do have a horn. Once the lift is actually on, I will demonstrate all these functions for you. You have a throttle position here. So if I go all the way to the rear, you will actually hear the backup alarm going off on this to notify everybody around you as well as yourself that your forklift is going backwards. You have your neutral, which obviously ain't going to go anywhere, but it still can roll thanks to having a secure parking brake, which is what this one is. And then moving it to the front, obviously, is going to allow this thing to engage and drive forward. Now, your parking brake, you have a button here, send it forward. Now it's not engaged. To actually activate it, you're going to have to pull it to the rear. This is your emergency stop. So let's say if this lift is getting away from you for whatever reason, you're just basically going to hit down on it. To actually disengage this, you're going to twist. You're going to twist clockwise, and this will actually pop back up, and you guys will actually be able to you have to turn it off and then turn it back on in order for the lift to actually turn back on. Before I jump on this lift, however, we're always throwing in goodie bags for every lift that you are purchasing, all right? So it's got a pretty cool design here. A couple things included with this. Nice hat, okay? It says Octane, which is another one of our brands. Then you have this shirt right here. Pardon the wind. I'm trying to position this so you guys can see it. But it has the front design here. This is what the back of the shirt's going to look like. So that's what you guys get for free. And as well as a forklift maintenance guide. What this maintenance guy is going to help you with. Now, it's not just this lift in specific. Let's say if you guys had other forklifts that had internal combustion engines, for example, you would actually be able to learn about those as well and how to maintain those properly with this manual, as well as this lift, which virtually doesn't need any maintenance. Besides the obvious wear items like brakes, tires, things like that, there's no transmission in this. There's no engine, which is pretty cool. But this will teach you how to take care of anything else. But we want to make sure you guys are covered in every avenue, and that way you have something to go off of, as well as this video that we're shooting you. So you have any questions, you can always refer to both, and I would always urge you guys to do so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this behind our camera guy. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump in this thing. We're going to take it for a spin. Go through all of the functions for you so you guys know how this works. So flipping the key on, you're going to hear a click. It's going to show you the battery level. It's going to show you the hours, which hour on this, it says 1.1. Brand spanking new. Before we do anything though, safety is paramount when it comes to operating heavy equipment. Always buckle it up. Make sure that you're safely secured inside the forklift. There's that horn that I was telling you guys about. Obviously, when the forklift's off, it's not going to do that. If I rotate here, you're going to see the caution lights come on. Just like that. That's just one click. 2 clicks, you go ahead and see those LEDs pop on. If you're having a dark environment, if it's nighttime, whatever it might be, you guys are still able to somewhat see better as opposed. The cool thing about this mast too, typically you have a lot of forklifts that have a lot of obstruction in front. What this allows, because this thing's actually sitting lower, you guys have actually a wide view and actually can see where you guys are going, especially if you have the fork somewhat 6 inches off the ground like they are now. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, disengage this parking brake. You can hear it like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and roll forward and show you guys how this goes. Now, one thing about these forklifts, just like electric forklifts, is they have instant throttle response. So be mindful of that. These things will pick up. They will take off pretty quick. But nice thing is, they also have pretty good brakes on them. There's that backup alarm. Now the cool thing about these tires is you can actually feel them grip onto this asphalt pretty good. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is do a little bit of a figure 8 pattern. Can I go a little bit wider? Just like that. Pretty maneuverable for being, a pretty good sized forklift per se. All right, now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to line this up to my camera guy here. I'll show you guys the mast function. That's pretty smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in neutral. I'm going to make sure that our parking brake is secure so that way we're not rolling because we happen to be on a slant. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and raise the mast up. That's about as high as you're going to go, which is plenty for what you guys are going to need to. We'll go ahead and lower this down. All right, your tilt function. See those tilt cylinders engaging, pushing this thing forward, and then pulling it back. All right, next is going to be your side shift attachment. So you're going to notice that the whole carriage is going to move left or right, just like that. You can hear all those functions working. All right, now's the fun part. Now this is the fork positioner. So if I actually pull down on this outside lever and push it down, it's going to close these forks. If I push it towards the top, it's going to spread them out. So instead of having to get out, undo the pin, and having to push all your weight to move one of these forks off, this makes it a lot easier. All right, I'm going to go and lower this down. Make sure these are seated. I'm going to go ahead and turn this lift off. A couple of things I want to show you guys on this particular lift. Now, per General Motors, you guys have to have a data tag, which is what this is. So that has all the information, such as your serial number, model number, all the crucial information about this lift. There's a second part to that, and it's right here. This has the load rating specific to what you guys are needing. This is showing you guys what it's specifically rated for, which is why we essentially came up with a forklift for you guys to use. Lithium ion. Again, it's an incredible technology, especially with a forklift like this. So you guys are going to love this. We love these. We love selling them. We love helping companies out. Customers are giving us very good feedback on these. So one thing I always request from you guys, is you guys give us feedback on yours. But one thing I want to tell you, thank you for doing business with us so we can help businesses like you guys. You guys are keeping us working hard so we can produce lifts like this to other customers, especially your guys. And in turn, you know, we try to make innovative movements throughout at least our economy, through our country, through whatever it is. And so we want to definitely share these with everybody. And if you guys are needing any more of these, I have a sales team that's definitely going to help you guys out with that, as well as anybody that you know needs them. Show them what you have. But thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.